Good evening. At least 4 people have been injured after a car ploughed into a group of spectators at a rally in Somerset. It happened at the Royal Bath and West Showground during an event organised by the Weston-super-Mare Motor Club. A father and 2 sons were taken to Bath's Royal United Hospital for treatment. They're not thought to have suffered serious injuries. Ambulance crews treated a 4th person at the scene. Marksmen are to continue shooting badgers in Somerset after a new licence to cull was issued. It follows the government's admission that the 6-week cull in West Somerset has failed to kill its target of 70% of the badger population. The pilot scheme will now continue for a further 3 weeks. An application has also been made to extend the cull in Gloucestershire. Both are part of trials aimed at controlling the spread of TB in cattle. And the Somerset MP David Heath has announced he's to resign just days after being sacked from his job as farming minister. The Liberal Democrat had been a government spokesman on the badger cull. He's seen here in Gloucestershire viewing a trial where the animals were vaccinated against TB. Mr Heath has represented Somerton and Frome for 16 years. He said he's promised his wife he'd step down before 2015. Cleaners on First Great Western trains have returned to work after strike action. Members of the RMT union walked out yesterday morning in a dispute over pay. They're also calling for an end to 0 hours contracts. The subcontractor Mighty says services were unaffected in the 24-hour walkout. The country's youngest bishop has been welcomed by his flock in a service that's just been held at Gloucester Cathedral. Martin Snow was officially installed last month as Bishop of Tewkesbury at the tender age of 45. Our reporter Wesley Smith went to meet him.
You'd expect Britain's youngest bishop to stand out from the crowd, and you certainly wouldn't miss him in this robe at the service of welcome at Gloucester Cathedral. Bishop Martin chose the design personally. He's moved to Staverton from Sheffield with a clear view of the work ahead.
It's actually about joining a community which builds people up in all sorts of different ways. So from those who are the most vulnerable within our society, being cared for within that community, to those of different backgrounds, people who've come to this country from other countries, or people who've grown up in other places, all finding their place within a community of faith. Coming to live now in a very rural area, living in a small village, so it's certainly very different. But one of the things that's immediately struck me is something of the sense of history in this place. So my service of welcome today is taking place in Gloucester Cathedral, and just a wonderful sense of how I then joined a long line of Christians who've gone before me.
And what about for you personally? You have a young family. It must have been quite an upheaval for everyone to move.
They've loved it, actually. They've got on with it very well and been wonderfully welcomed, I have to say. And the kids in particular, I think, looking forward to... I have 2 boys in particular into sport, supporting Sheffield teams and football in particular, but looking forward to getting into the rugby in Gloucester now, actually.
Although Martin Snow's title is Bishop of Tewkesbury, he'll work across and just beyond the county. His first service is tomorrow at Cam near Dursley. Wesley Smith, ITV News, Staverton.
In football, Swindon Town won 4-0 away to Rotherham in League One. Alex Pritchard and Massimo Luongo got the goals in the first half, and Nicky Ajose and Danny Ngeson scored the 3rd and 4th after the break to complete for an emphatic win for Mark Cooper's team. Meanwhile, Cheltenham's Jamie Curitan scored his 250th career goal as his team won 2-1 away to Dagenham and Redbridge. Keith Lowe got the 2nd goal after the break. And a late goal by Elif Santos saved Bristol Rovers, who were trailing away to Mansfield, for whom Lee Stevenson got the only goal. In rugby, Gloucester kick off their Heineken Cup campaign at 6 o'clock with the visit of Perpignan to Kingsholm in the first of this season's pool matches. And later this evening, Bath are away to Bordeaux in the Challenge Cup. And tomorrow, Bristol take on Leeds Carnegie in the British and Irish Cup, kicking off at 3 at the Memorial Stadium. In Speedway, the Somerset Rebels beat the Newcastle Diamonds 51 points to 39 to keep alive their hopes of reaching the Premier League playoff final. Well, the 2 teams meet again at Newcastle tomorrow as they bid to face Edinburgh in the final. Organisers of Bath in Bloom will be keeping their green fingers crossed this evening when the winners of Britain in Bloom will be announced. The team, which was narrowly beaten in the national contest 2 years ago, has high hopes that it will be awarded gold at tonight's ceremony in Cleethorpes. Right now, let's take a look at the weather. Here's Peter Griffin.
Hello there, definitely an autumnal feel to the weather this weekend. Some rain on the way for tomorrow, I'm afraid. And a few showers through the course of the night as well, particularly for Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. Bit of a misty night for Somerset, but lows tonight certainly nowhere near as cold as the last few nights have been, so 7 to 10 Celsius, the range of temperatures there. Now on to tomorrow morning. Quite a cloudy old start to the day and already some heavy rain heading into Wiltshire and Gloucestershire by lunchtime as well. But the further south and to the west you are, you'll hang on to that drier weather for just a little while yet. But tomorrow afternoon, I'm afraid, just about everybody getting some rain. Again, some further heavy bursts of rain for Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. Those temperatures picking up in the northwesterly breeze, but it won't feel particularly warm at 12 Celsius, I'm afraid. Changeable over the next few days. Some brightness Monday and Tuesday, but further rain heading our way on Wednesday.
And that's the way it looks tonight. There's plenty more news from the region on our website. We will be back tomorrow. Don't forget, coming up next, all new You've Been Framed with Harry Hill. That's it from us though. Bye-bye.